All right, another one of my latest posts was this. As proclaimers of the gospel of the kingdom of heaven, we must do all that we can to help sinners and saints alike help them in believing and receiving what already belongs to them positionally. All right? So the Apostle Paul said that he did everything in order to not be a stumbling block to the gospel, to those who needed to hear and receive the gospel. He's also the one who said that I become all things to all men, anthropos, men and women, so that some might get saved. I wrote a few years ago a title for a book teaching Faith for the Atheist, or Faith for the Faithless, Faith for the Doubter, Faith for the Skeptic. And see, Jesus, as our prime example, he did everything by the Spirit, obviously, and so should we. But he did everything that he could to help those who heard him and saw him, to help them believe. Now, of course, salvation as we know it after the cross was not the same as before the cross. Healing, deliverance. He did everything. He knew what to do to get people to believe so that they can receive what he came to offer them. And I'm the first one to admit I'm guilty of this, especially years ago. But we've made it really hard for sinners to get saved. Oh, yeah. And we're going to give an account of that. And we've made it very hard also for saints to get their healing, to get their provision. Yeah? How? How have we made it hard? Well, by first of all, teaching them wrong doctrine to the saints, telling them they got to tithe, they got to give offerings, they got to do all this stuff so that God can prosper them financially. But also, we have teachings in the church that stops God's people from receiving their healing. Absolutely. I mean, we teach today that God doesn't heal. Wow. Well, if that's what they're taught in their local church, they're sitting under that doctrine, then when they get sick, well, their only option is to run to the doctor, get surgery, whatever, and a lot of them die prematurely. And when they show up in heaven, it's like, what are you doing here? You know, you shouldn't be here. You're too young. And even when you get old, I tell that to my mother. She's 94. I say, you don't have to die with a disease. You can just die when it's your time to go. Your spirit and your soul leaves your body. Jesus says it's time to come home. You know, you don't have to die with a disease. You don't have to go home to heaven because with a disease. I mean, in the sense of dying, leaving this earth by a disease or sickness or whatever. Car crash or whatever, bad accident. No. And to the saint, the sinner. Yeah. You know, we gotta share the gospel. And we have to share it by the Spirit. A lot of times we share things with sinners and it's not what they need to hear. Yeah, they're going to hell, but they're going through hell. They're going through divorce. They're going through this. They're going through that. They're going through hardship. And here we come across saying, hey, if you don't get born again, you're going to go to hell. And it's true. But Jesus has something else in mind to get them to the place where they can receive the gospel. Believe it, receiving it, get born again. Shalom and amen.